is it July? No, it's
July,
almost
end of
August.
July, end of July 28th.
It's almost, and here I am on a 3-day vacation in Savannah, Georgia right now, in case anyone's wondering why I'm...
Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah.
Dang, you know, it is so funny, Eric, because I was in Georgia on Saturday, and I had Georgia peach ice cream at like, you know, some big fair farmers market kind of Georgia thing, which was beautiful and amazing. And I was just commenting to my wife that we need to do a road trip because I was on the a different side of Georgia visiting family. But I told my wife, we got to go to Savannah. Savannah is such a beautiful, wonderful city, even for a 3-day weekend like you're on. Oh, what a great place to visit, man.
It's historic. The food is unbelievable. Food is unbelievable. People are really nice. Food's unbelievable. Historic, really old town. But tons to do. Great place to walk around and
chill out.
Yeah. And if you like food, man, there's some killer restaurants here.
Oh,
so
yeah. Last time we were there, I won't remember any of the streets, but we were right in that sort of main section. And I know those restaurants that are in that big building that face the water.
Yeah.
Oh, whew.
We're staying right on in that section right there, and just walk up and down there, and it's beautiful. It's a great place to go visit.
I'm jealous.
So,
yeah, that's awesome.
There's your vacation tips. Now we'll get on some marketing tips.
Yeah.
So, you know, we are kind of getting into that time of the year where, you know, depending on the type of healthcare business that you have, there do seem to be some months that we've seen where people say, well, it's just always slow. These are just kind of our normal slow months, you know, and I guess those are months where they, you know, they'll say kids are going back to school or, you know, vacations or whatever it is. Okay. And I know that there's always some truth to the reason why there's some seasonality issues, but that doesn't mean that you have to sit there and watch your revenue go down 10, 15% and not think that you can't do anything about it. And, you know, I'm always like perplexed where, you know, if you know that, let's say November is historically a bad month, then why wouldn't you start right now with some marketing activities that will allow you to not have a slow month in November?
100%. And I tell you, it's, a lot of guys know Walker Creative. So my agency, we've been helping private practice owners for 10 years now, all over the country, from veterinarians to dentists, optometrists, orthodontists, physical therapy. And it's funny because it could seem like common sense. And probably every doctor watching this or someone in that industry watching this right now goes, obviously, Eric, obviously, Cebron, common sense. But it's interesting for me because I talk to these doctors all the time. And even though it's common sense, it's sometimes nice to have someone kick you in the butt and say, yeah, we talk about it. But you know what? Come September 1st, you better put some more money on your Google search ads and maybe some Facebook ads. So for September and October, man, you're investing in advertising so that come November, December, and the up months that we can sort of cruise, we can just take that advertising money back and don't have to spend it or put it somewhere else that you want to put it. But this is the most important thing that I find, is not resting on your laurels and spending advertising dollars when you need to spend them, and then not spending them when you don't. And that's usually about 2 months before you suddenly realize you should have.
Right. Because there's always going to be a lag, seemingly, on when you advertise and then when you see the results of that advertising. Is that the case?
Completely. And even though today, a lot of people say, well, it's instantaneous, right? Because if you put a Facebook ad out there or a Google ad out there, well, you're going to start seeing it in a few days, right? It's not like you pay for a billboard that's going to go up in two months, or we want to do a commercial, and now you got to start talking about producing a commercial and the video work and the editing and this. So it's a 2-month lag before you see the product. An agency can put an ad out for you and design it, and within a week, it's up and running. But the public have to start seeing you, and it has to start impacting, and it has to start breaking through the noise. Because the challenge we have today is that the noise is so great on social media, and so great when people are Googling to find whatever that is near me, or that I'm looking for a pediatric dentist, or a vet that specializes in cats and it's fear free, or whatever your need is. There's so much noise out there that you have to keep hitting them over the head so that they keep seeing it and they go, that's right, that's the place. And I'll touch on, and I don't mean to just take over, but I'll touch on some things that are really important as well to have in place when you have to do that.
Yeah. No, let's like do like maybe a 3-step strategy of, let's say I know November is my down month. What is my strategy in August, to make sure that doesn't happen, or I minimize the downside? Because again, I'll equate, losing money in when you have an investment. When you lose a percentage point, you got to gain more than that just to get back to even, right? So if I lost 50% in the market, I'd have to gain more than that 50% back just to get back to even. And when you have a month where you don't see as many patients as you normally see, well below your make break number, guess what? It's going to take 2 or 3 months for you to get back to even. So what's the strategy of what I can do right now so that those down months aren't down as bad?
Yeah. Well, first thing I'm going to say, and I'm not saying this because I run an agency. I mean, all day long, it's our passion and purpose to help private practice owners do fantastic and really achieve their business dreams and goals so that they can have the lifestyle that they want for their family. And so when I'm talking about the things you need to do, it's not that I'm trying to sell something. It's that this is what you have to win. And the first thing you have to realize is you have to have a marketing budget. You have to be willing to spend on marketing to drive statistics and to drive new patients or new clients. We just aren't in the world that we were. I mean, and granted, there are some really fantastic doctors that their medicine is so good that they have a really good referral base. And for a lot of people listening to this, that might be the case. But you can't rest on that forever. You got to be doing some marketing so that the new families moving into communities, and especially the young families that are on TikTok, on Instagram, they're looking at your website. They're looking at everything that are on these phones. These phones guide them about everything. 90% of their decisions are going to happen after they've looked at your stuff on their phone. They're going to look at your website. They're going to look at you on Instagram. They're going to see if you have a YouTube channel and what you have to say, because they want to know that they can trust you. Of course, they're obviously going to look at your reviews. If they, go to your Google profile and they're going to see, okay, this guy's got 200 great reviews compared to somebody else, right? So the first thing, number one, is be willing to have a marketing budget and go, today, some things I have to have. Now, I'm going to say this, but then I'm going to go to exactly what you need to do to handle those down months. Okay. But have a marketing budget and look at how your website stacks up against the competition. And this is a drill that I think every doctor or office manager that wears that marketing hat for a doctor should do, is list out their 3 top competitors in their market and go, good, look at their website and look at a couple of their social profiles, right? And go, good. Now look at your own website. And how do you stack up? Are you winning in that game? Or if someone does their homework and looks around, are you going to lose that game? Mm-hmm. Well, if you are, the first thing you do, and if you're going to run ads, you're going to hit this too, right? Because if someone sees an ad that, let's say we talked about, okay, September 1st, you want to start hitting ads and doing some investment in Google ads and maybe some Facebook ads for your November downtime. Well, unfortunately, if you do that and spend a bunch of money and drive people to your website, to your homepage or a landing page that's specifically about a product you want to sell, like let's say you're an orthodontist and you want to drive people to come get, Sure Smile or Invisalign or some kind of clear aligners product, or if you're a dentist and you're trying to pump on that for, because it's a good profitable area. Well, let's say you do that and you drive them to a landing page on your website, but your website is the worst in your market, or, mediocre, but there's two other dentists in your area that have a fantastic website with fantastic pages about their clear aligner product. Well, you're not going to do yourself any favors to spend $1,000 or $2,000 or even more per month on ads. That's going to give someone the idea that, well, you're mediocre in that market. You're not the best, right?
Yeah. So your core of your marketing, which obviously for a lot of practice owners is their website, which is basically your business card. It's a mirror into your practice, what they're going to look at. It's got to be top notch. Really does.
We don't have a choice anymore. I literally, Eric, I do this all the time. I have a doctor, come in through my website or through a referral and go, well, how does it look? Because I do a marketing evaluation. That's what I do. That's the start of any relationship, is I do a 30-minute marketing evaluation. I go, look, let's look at your stuff. Let's look at your competition. Where do you really stand? It's not a sales conversation. It's just, let's do this for you. Let's look at where you really stand. And I tell you, if your website doesn't stack up, you really don't have a choice. Unfortunately, you got to be competitive, because 90% of the people out there these days are going to check you out first and make sure that they click with you, that what they look for in a dentist or a vet or a physical therapist or whatever they're looking for is the kind of person they want to work with. Does it resonate with them? Are you their people, right? Do I see the kind of people at your practice that are my people, right? And there's things you do to do that. You get some video footage in your website. You get a nice hero banner. You get real pictures of you guys, the doctor and the staff working with clients, and some testimonials from those clients. And so when you go to that website, it's not what I call a McDonald's website. It's not just the stock photos you see on every other website. I mean, Eric, if you've been to some of these conventions and trade shows, especially like a dental convention or a vet convention, it's almost embarrassing. The same stock photo of dogs or the model for a dentist is in 10 different booths. And if you go to the websites, they're also on 10 different dental websites. I mean, have you seen that?
You do definitely see the same pictures over and over again.
And the public, your target audience, when they see that, it doesn't build trust. It does the opposite. They go, well, they're not proud of themselves enough to show off their own practice. They're showing me stock photos I've seen 10 other times earlier in my life, in other towns I've lived in and other dentists I've visited. They all look the same. You don't want to look the same.
Right. That makes sense. Okay. So I mean, the website has to be, obviously it should be awesome, but even if it's just a reflection of who you are in your practice, it's really important that it looks top notch, great pictures, personable, those things I think you just touched on.
Yeah, the first thing, and it doesn't have to cost you. Certainly, building a new website and getting a good photo shoot and stuff, there's some costs involved, right? But for everybody watching, the first thing and the most immediate thing you can do, if you have a website that's not up to par because it's got a lot of stock stuff in it, go hire a friend that does photos with kids, or wedding photographer, or someone that in your community that's done photos, and say, look, come spend a handful of hours at the practice on a Saturday and just take a bunch of really high quality photographs and then provide that to your website team right now. Like, you could literally get it done in the coming weekend or two, and bring your website quality up right now. And that'll cost you $500, maybe $700. Different markets, downtown Chicago is going to be different than, a small town in Arkansas, right?
Yeah.
But the cost won't be a full brand new website. You might need to do that at some point, but we're talking about statistics that are going to be tough in November. And we're in the beginning of, like, we're just about the beginning of August. So if you need to do something now, get your website upgraded now. So if you want to start running ads in September, October, you're going to do well and drive people to a website that's pretty darn good, if not amazing, pretty darn good, so that they'll be ready to convert in those down months. That's what you need to be doing.
Okay, good. Yeah. What else? I mean,
the next thing after your website is the next most important thing is your Google business profile. It used to be called Google My Business, but if you've got a Google login, most doctors' offices or the doctor himself or herself at some point had a Google account where they set up a profile for their business. That Google profile is your second most important online profile to your website. That's got to be updated. It's got to have information about you guys. It's got to have pictures, recent pictures, which you can literally go around your office and take new pictures with your phone. And if you're, make sure you're logged into your Google account on your phone and upload them right from your phone into your Google profile as some new photos of the office, the outside of the office, so people recognize your building, your staff, you in action doing stuff in your practice. An interesting tidbit is, of course, like it or not, these things are tracking devices, and a photo you take is exactly located. So if you're taking photos in your practice and then you upload them to Google, well, the Google spiders that are searching and ranking your practice, you want to be ranked high on Google. Well, those photos are going to help to do that because they're going to be in your profile located at your business location. Right. So it's a little interesting fact. So put new photos on your Google profile, fill it in, make sure your hours are correct. If you're not getting reviews, start asking your friendly clients and patients to get some reviews up there for you, man. You need to start getting a couple reviews a week. If you haven't been on that, get on that, because reviews also affect your rankings and people are going to be looking at them.
What's a minimum that you should have on there? I mean,
you want to break 100.
Okay.
The numbers are, if you have none, break 10.
Yeah.
If you're up over 10,
get 20. Yeah.
But you want to get it to 100, break 100 as fast as you can.
Okay.
And look, if you get one or two a week in a year, you'll break 100, right?
Yeah.
So just get on it. Don't think, and actually you don't want to try to get 20 reviews in 1 week. That will look fishy, and Google's going to be like, what's happening?
I gotcha.
Right. So you just want to start getting reviews. So get, first target, upgrade your website. Second target, get your Google business profile improved and really representing your business as you want. Like, look at it. And again, the same drill I mentioned earlier, look at the business profiles of your other three competitors. Get your profile to be better than theirs. Right.
Yeah.
So that's your next one. And then after that, it's, well, where are people spending their time? Well, we already know on national average, it's 2.6 hours a day on social media, right? That's crazy amount of, and as an average, right? It's a lot of time on social media. So where does your public spend their time? And you can just ask a few of them, like ask your staff and your friends, what are you on? If you're on social media, is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? If it's a younger audience, it's going to be on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, LinkedIn. And you don't want to try to do all of them. It's too much to think about. But let's just say most of your audience is on Facebook. Well, then get active on Facebook and start posting a couple times a week on Facebook with some real posts. A little video of you with a patient or client. Congratulations, you got your braces off. You got a new puppy. Get a picture of you and the puppy working together with the client. New kittens. Veterinarians have it the easiest because puppy and kitten photos all day long, right?
Millions of views.
Oh, killer. Everybody loves them, right? But if you have staff, one of the staff members is pregnant. One of the staff members has a new baby, or it's a staff member's birthday or an anniversary. All these things are worthy of a social post. And that is social media. That's fun. That's cool. That is relatable. So you don't need to think that your social posts have to be a quote about dentistry and something important about the statistics of braces or the statistics of flossing. Because you know what? No one freaking cares on social media about those pieces of information. What they do care about is that someone just had a baby, or that you just gave flowers to a client who had their 10-year anniversary, or that you gave an award to a kid because you found out that he won a spelling bee at school. So you, as the local dentist, gave this kid $100 gift card to Target as a reward because you heard about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That kind of stuff is killer stuff. That's what people are going to love on social media. It's going to go viral. People are going to share it. Moms are going to say, check out what I just saw. This kind of stuff, right? So a couple of those kind of posts every week. So these are the things. Your website, fix it up. Your business profile, fix it up. Get your most important social profile being active so people see that. Then run your ad. Get your ads going, come, September 1st, in the scenario that we're looking at November being a downtime.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotcha. It's just that simple. Jeez.
It really is. And the thing that I love about being an agency owner, and I personally work with so many of the doctors that are clients, is that a lot of times it is just someone that's keeping you accountable. Because of course we're doing work for our clients, but the clients do have jobs, right? Like they have to take their social media pictures because we're not there.
Right.
So, and we need to keep you accountable to doing advertising when you need to be doing advertising. And if you don't need to be doing advertising at a certain time of the year, then you don't need to spend the money either. And we're not going to, we're going to say, just cut the advertising. It's like, it doesn't affect us whether you're putting $2,000 a month on Google ads or zero, right? Because I don't, that money is going to Google, right? I don't make that money. So I just want you to do well. I want your practice to be successful because that reflects on me.
Yep. I guess at this point in time, what are some of the uber successful actions that you're seeing amongst those healthcare owners that are cut above? Do they have people in their staff that are doing some of this work? What are they? I mean, I'm sure they have all those things you just mentioned about a really nice website and they're personable and all those things. Is there any other trends that you're seeing right now that people should be doing?
It's a great question. And I like, it's great that you asked, because there really is. It's this thing that I see in a practice that stands above, like, let's say we have 10 practices where we've built them a beautiful website that's worthy of converting leads into clients or patients, right? That's a fundamental. And we've done that. Let's say we've built a great YouTube channel with some videos for their website and for their YouTube channel to get them more and more traction and more attention, right? That we've got a, social media set up well, their Google business profile is set up well. So these fundamentals of a great business today, a great dental practice or vet practice, we've established that for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let's say if I looked at 5 of those kinds of practices, which all are equal, like one's in Boise, Idaho, one's in, Chicago, one's in New York, one's in Sacramento, one's in, Tampa, Florida. The one that's going to win is that when we have someone in the practice that isn't like a marketing person that they're doing marketing as a full-time job.
Right.
That they have been assigned the hat of marketing liaison for maybe 5 hours a week. That's like an hour a day, even 30 minutes a day. So about, 2 to 3 hours a week. They're the marketing liaison and have a responsibility to take really good pictures. And they know because we've trained them, because we do trainings at Walker Creative where we'll do like an hour-long trainings where we'll go, good, this is what makes great social media. Here's a list of ideas, this kind of stuff, right? When we have that liaison that's active in the business, it it changes the sort of culture within the practice, because the practice has, I'm going to give the person a name, Alicia. So this person, Alicia, in the practice is going around taking social media pictures or little videos of people being funny and cute, or and they know, because let's say it's a vet and they're washing the dog and the dog is shaking water and everybody's screaming because their water is going everywhere, and it's a funny, engaging little video, right? And the staff are part of it, right? So it makes the marketing real to the practice, and the doctor knows that we need to get those pictures, right? And the doctor might not be heavily involved, but the doctor's like, yeah, let's get a photo of me with Betsy Sue because she just had her 10-year anniversary. Hey, send someone out to get flowers. She's coming in for a checkup. Give me those flowers, right? And that Mark Liaison goes out, gets some flowers, gets them back to the office because we've got an opportunity. Take it when we have someone in the practice that and the doctor and this person have a marketing mindset that they now are they're taking part in it. So they take advantage of opportunities, right? Suddenly it does more than just create good social posts, but it creates like a bit of a juggernaut in a small way where people are involved. The practice is more community centric. They're more aware of what's going on to take advantage of things in the community. And they know that the whole reason is because they're providing the help to the community, but this is going to go on Facebook. This is going to go on Instagram. This might go on TikTok. This is going to go on their website. And then you have things happen like the Nextdoor app. Everybody's heard probably of Nextdoor, right? And they give awards like best dentist in Toledo, Ohio, or you have some little magazine, a weekender magazine in that town of top dog vet, in Houston, Texas, right? And so then they're aware of that. They get involved in that. They tell their clients to vote for that. Then we get that little award icon and we stick it on their website, and it builds on itself. And then you see that practice after a year into year two. We've built all these foundations, but they're also involved in the marketing a little bit. And again, it's not a ton of time, a few hours a week, maybe, right? But then this practice now has ratcheted up and become a leading practice that's winning that game in the market.
Right? And is that liaison? I mean, what is the job description of that person? Like, I mean, they are obviously getting photos of people. Like if you have people come in the office, I mean, like, man, you should just, whoever it is, I'm just trying to think that even for what we do, like I should always have pictures taken of the people that come into the office. And then are they also doing the Google, getting people to make sure that they do their Google reviews? I mean, what is that liaison doing?
Yeah. So the liaison is, for example, the Google reviews, we could create a little poster, like a standee that could go into like a plastic, like holder of some sort where you can create a QR code. It says, hey, we love reviews. We share them with all the staff. And we always try to do our best and have this like QR code with the Google logo that we put at the sign out desk in the practice.
Yeah.
They ask us for that. We do it, give it to that liaison. That liaison prints it off, puts it in the holder, tells all the staff, at a lunch break or at a staff meeting, hey guys, we're on a push for reviews. Don't be pushy, don't be salesy, but let them know we love reviews because we read them out at staff meetings. We acknowledge the staff, and it always helps us to see how we're doing so we can do even better for you. Right?
Yeah.
That's the little conversation people could have with a patient or a client as they're signing out. And of course, when they're happy, of course, right?
Yeah, of course.
So we get more reviews. That person takes the photos. That person, the more that person is a people person, the better. Because then, Betsy or Sue or Jim or Joe who comes into the practice, they're like, hey, we'd love to get a photo with, and of course you always have to have that person's okay to do it. And it's really good if the practice implements when a new patient, signs up and, does their paperwork. add a little line to your sign-in paperwork that says, we do social media here, and, is it okay or not okay? Please sign if we take photos, if you're in a photo in our social media. Then if that person signed that and that's in their paperwork, you got okay. And of course, in the moment, make sure they're okay. And then take those pictures, So the more, that's such a great bonus if that person that you've agreed with is that person in your practice is a good people person.
Yeah. So, Brian, no joke. Because you'll see an average practice, and then you'll see one that's doing exceptional. And, these 3 or 4 things that we just talked about there, I know it's tough to quantify exactly what that would produce for someone, but can you give me some examples of increases that you've seen in practices just doing some of these steps right here? I mean, these are not that hard.
They're not hard. It just takes a decision and then implementation to go good. That's her job or his job in the practice. And at Walker Creative, I have actually written up a social media duties policy that I wrote for doctors to hand to somebody. So I actually provide this as part of an onboarding, so that they hand this to that person, and it's a duty, and they know that it is. And when you do that drill of looking at your competition and looking at their social profiles, because I could name off many that I've seen, right? That you can see the amount of engagement they get. A lot of people might get 2, 3, 5 likes and a comment on a social post, if they post once in a while. But we have clients that have really gotten into this, and they're getting 25 likes, 5 comments, 3 shares, some even in the 60s and 70s of likes. And it takes time.
Yeah.
The Facebook algorithms, the Instagram algorithms, the YouTube algorithms, these algorithms, it takes time for these to keep working through your stuff. And the more they see people looking at your posts, they're going to start putting it out further and further to more and more people, right? That's how they work, right? And it's not overnight. There's no overnight success with this stuff, right? You got to start doing it and be diligent about, okay, good. We're going to do posts twice a week. Thursday, it doesn't have to be exactly Tuesday and exactly Thursday, but you just say, good. 2 posts a week, good posts that people are going to appreciate. I mean, there's silly things like where the doctor goes to get a cup of coffee in the morning, get a selfie of him with his coffee at whatever this local coffee shop is, or, where the crew go for Taco Tuesday or local restaurants they visit, even where the doctor might get a haircut. These are all, could seem silly, but they're all extremely good social posts that I've seen go like gangbusters. I'm talking about a doctor that went and got a haircut and included in the picture, his selfie, the name of the hair place, so that the haircutting place gets, a shout out, and they can then share it as well. Get like 85 likes and like 7 comments of the doctor where he got a haircut. Right. But it didn't happen like that one post. It was like months and months of doing good posts, continuously.
Yeah. I guess it's time for me to get a hair implant. Damn.
Or you could just do like, Xavier, X-Men, there's plenty of stylish dudes that are bald, man.
Probably. Yeah. You're probably right.
No problem. There's some cool cats.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Good, man. Well, that's a starting point. I mean, those are definitely some things I think people can do to not be feel like there's nothing that they can do about the upcoming months, which are typically a little bit slower for healthcare owners. So that was good.
Yeah, so, I really hope it helps. There are things that everybody can pretty much do. Certainly, some of the things like video, professional videos and websites, you'll want an agency help. But a lot of the stuff you can get going on right away, right in your practices. And all my best wishes that you have a fantastic rest of 2024. And I'm not sure what you share at the end of this, Eric, but I'm always willing to, if a doctor's serious about wanting to get their marketing fixed up, I'm always willing to do a completely complimentary marketing evaluation with you guys out there. I'm always willing for that.
Yeah, 100%. Anyone that's thinking about it, definitely connect with Cebron. His team's very professional. They know what they're doing, and they respond. They do great work. So I would 100% recommend that you guys connect and have someone like him on your team. I think it's just as important as having a good financial advisor or a good CPA or anyone else. You need to make sure that part of the team is really, really competent. So they just go to Walker Creative.
Yeah, walkercreative.com, and creative is with a K. So WALKERKREATIVE.com, walkercreative.com. Check us out and reach out to us. I'm sure some way through the podcast, there's probably a way as well. It's been great being a guest on the show, Eric. You guys are the bomb. You guys, nothing better. I every time I see a video from you guys, Eric, I go, okay, I can fix that up with my own finances. Thank you so much for having me on.
Appreciate it, bud. Thanks, man.